Okay, I am back, and I truthfully did not want to be back this soon because I was like, man, now I gotta send another message out to my customers that I just was, trying to get back in contact with and let them know about the sale that we had that was 40% off yesterday, that ended yesterday because it was like a 4-day thing. So now we wake up to this email this morning that there's an even better sale. So again, I apologize, and I'm not going to really send this one out to all my customers this time. Sorry, I have a knot in my hair. To all of my customers this time. I am going to keep this in the YouTube channel here. So I would recommend subscribing to this channel. Put your notifications on, because that way when I do post something, it will most likely be for a sale, or just I want to talk about a specific product or a specific just to educate on something specifically. That's ideally what I wanted to use this channel for, was to make a video and talk about specifically education on just overall Monat products, education on a certain system, on hair care, on skincare, on wellness products, on makeup. So first and foremost, I actually do want to mention that I've been partnered with Monat now for 3 years, and I have a background in the beauty industry. So I've been in the beauty industry for over 16 years now. I got licensed in 2009, went to beauty school right out of high school, and I've just been in this field of doing. I specialized in more doing hair than it, because I got my license in cosmetology. So I really did everything. I did everything from massages to facials to nails, manicures, pedicures, men's hair, women's hair, coloring. Everything, you name it, everything in the category of cosmetology. Like, I went and studied everything. And then once I got licensed, I decided I was gearing towards more hair, because that's just what I felt that I was better at, and that I felt that I was intrigued and wanted to, I was just really interested in it. So went in that avenue. And as through my career, throughout the years, I started to shift things a little bit, just because I'm the type that I get bored too easily. So I was doing mostly like haircuts and styling, and then I ventured into I got really intrigued and interested in hair coloring, and then I wanted to just learn more and more about it and wanted to get better at it. And so it was just, hair coloring was like my thing for the longest time. And then when I had worked at Ulta, someone, the managers came up to anybody in the salon, was like, hey, and does anybody enjoy doing makeup? And do they know how to do makeup here? Because we need some girls to the front where, all the girls that did makeup there in the front, they didn't have enough girls. And it was like wedding season, a lot of things, and they were getting a lot of people coming in, like brides and bridal inquiries coming in, and they didn't have enough girls to accommodate. And so at this point, I was already kind of like a year in there, and I was just like, I'll take it. I mean, I was young, I didn't have any kids at the time, so I was just like, I wanted to take on anything. And so I was like, I love makeup, and I love doing makeup, and I want to be able to get my hands on that. Like, I actually had an itch for it. And so it just worked out. I picked up, doing bridal makeup, and then it just intrigued me more. And then I was like, you know what, I kind of want to venture off. And, I had a lot of, it's a long story. I don't even know why I'm like mentioning this whole long story to you, because I wanted to share some other things with you. But all this to say is that I've dabbled in everything. I also dabbled into like doing skincare, and I became a skincare specialist as well. Like, after going through and doing the whole makeup, I worked for bridal companies all the things that you can think of. So I am very well educated when it comes to just everything beauty, whether it's skincare, makeup, hair care. And truthfully, when it came to trying Monat, I was a little bit against it. And that's only because the hairstylists around me were just like, don't use that brand. It's not Salon Professional. There's just reps that are wanting people to buy it. And to be completely honest, I feel like Monat disrupted the industry in a lot of ways. Like, most definitely disrupted the industry. And it just really took over. And so the industry didn't know what to do with it. Those those Salon Professional brands didn't know what to do with it either, because they were taking over and becoming number one worldwide, and number one hair care company worldwide. And so a lot of the hair care brands that we know of today that are Salon Professional just didn't know what to do with that, and it was a competition to them. And so, as I don't know however the words come about, but as salon owners and big chain companies working with these specific products, we're just told like we can't work with them. We're just opposed and turn against it, right? And so when you are working for a big chain company like that, which it was me for years, I was working for big chain companies like Ulta, JCPenney's salon, and I couldn't work with any other products than the ones that they offered and that they sold in our salons. Like in Ulta, it was only, we were working with Redken only. But obviously Ulta sells pretty much every professional brand. And the same goes for JCPenney. When I was in JCPenney's, there was only a select brand that we could work with and carry and sell as hairstylists. And we were actually given a quota to meet to sell products. And if we didn't meet a quota, we wouldn't get paid our highest commission rate. And so the more products we sold, the higher commission rate we would get on our services. So sadly, that's just how this industry works. And I was horrible at sales. And so like coming across to now being a sales rep for Monat and the hair care brand, it's something that just wasn't part of the plan. And it wasn't an intention to just want to sell these products. I only sell these products now because I've grown a passion for them and an understanding, and I really dive deep and educated myself on these products. So I've done some intensive education. I've gone through and became a hair loss practitioner. I've also went through the whole process of becoming a certified trichologist. And so the products just lined up so perfectly. There's a lot of other trichologists that are certified that actually recommend this brand. It's by far one of the things out there that expedites just everything out there and it just surpasses anything related to scalp health. So one of the reasons why I wanted to not only share this video and share that we have a different sale now. So I didn't want to not only just show that we have a different sale and actually a better sale, but I wanted to just, my actually next video that I was going to post was actually going to be why I got involved, why I'm talking about these products, why I'm sharing them, not necessarily selling them because that's not my intention, but I truly have a love and a passion for these products, and I have a love for helping others. And when it comes to just safety and health of others, these product meets those standards. And also not only that, it all comes to like cleanliness and safeness and health. And now that I've educated myself so much these past 3 years and found out the truth and the facts of, salon professional products and even, drugstore products, there's not a lot of safe and clean products out there. Most of them out there are chemically based, and I found this to be true because there are actually 7 big chain companies that own most of the beauty industry. So I'm talking about like beauty brand. So I've created a video that I posted on Instagram. I believe I posted it on my TikTok as well, explaining this. It's a little wordy and lengthy, so it talks about this 7 different companies, and under the umbrella of those 7 different companies are brands that we know and that we use. Whether it's Wella, Kenra, Moroccan Oil, Matrix, like all these name brands that are, a lot of them are salon professional and a lot of them are just like drugstore, like Suave and Pantene, Tresemme, like those type of things that are like shampoo, hair care, right? There's even like body soap, just, like things that we use day to day, products that are at the store where you would go shop for, all your essentials, or if you're going to go to Ulta, Sephora to get, shampoo, conditioner, whatever it is, like your needs. Most of those brands are owned by these 7 big chain companies. And all of these big chain companies, these big 7, are chemically based, which means all the products that are within this umbrella contain chemicals in them, which are not always safe. And to be honest, we grew up not even really understanding or coming to realizing this, right? We just like it just was so normal, okay? And I'm not, blaming anyone. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming, myself, because we just didn't know that these chemicals were harmful. And these chemicals are harmful to our health and our well-being. With that being said, there's a lot of these companies that are undergoing lawsuits for just, that are just cancer causing, that are hormone disruptors, infertility, like they're causing infertility, just so many things that are just being harmful to our health. And so I just want to be able to make that, bring awareness to that, because not everybody is going to know that unless it's being flashed out there. And obviously these products are not, because a lot of them are like, well, have a label that says natural, sulfate free, paraben free, and just all these things, trying to make it seem like there's not containing yucky bad stuff in them, when ideally they're covering it up with the fact that they do have chemicals in them. And so that's just one part of this reason, right? So that's the actual main part, because to me, like, as a hairstylist, and, granted, I don't really take much clients now anymore as I used to, because money's been my main focus and my main income to my family. But that I still would never want to recommend somebody, whether it's a client or a friend, products that either I'm using, or just really any products that are going to be harmful to anyone's health. And so that would just really crush me, knowing that, hey, let me send my friends asking me, hey, what shampoo do I get? And I'm like, okay, well, we'll get this one. And it causes them cancer. Like, it would really not sit well with me. It would be so devastating to me. So that's another reason where I was like, wow, this really opened up my eyes to not even knowing any of this. And now that I know, but also like looking up all these other products and realizing, and not only that, going through trichology school and actually learning what to look for when I examine someone's scalp with a microscope to see what's going on at the scalp underneath it all. But also to see like what our scalp looks like from using certain products, and from examining a variety of people's scalp. I don't want to say variety, that doesn't really sound that great, but an array of people that have come to me to examine their scalp, and all of them using different things, right? And seeing what they're using. Most of the people that have came, actually almost pretty much all of the people that have came to me to examine their scalp have actually had something just going on underneath there. And I don't want to say like going on like in a bad way or yucky way, but ideally what the most thing that I'm seeing is that most people's hair follicles are clogged. they're really clogged. And then what this ends up leading up to, because then I have others that have severe scalp issues going on, scalp concerns, whether that's dandruff, you know, overly producing oily scalp, dry scalp, flaky scalp, itchy scalp, psoriasis, eczema, just different scalp issues and concerns. And you know, with also hair loss and hair thinning and hair shedding, like just all these things to name, are what I have came across within these last 3 years. And so now being able to see it all underneath it all, and you know, and if somebody's coming to me with like the most healthiest scalp, there is still some that I see that just still have clogged follicles. And so the reason for that though is because of the products that they're using. And a lot of the products that are out there, again, whether they're beauty professional, salon professional, or if they're drugstore, I'm still seeing the same thing. I'm still seeing clogged hair follicles, which is caused by the products coating the hair strands and clogging the follicle, okay? And how this happens is most products contain silicone and waxes. Again, them not being like super clean, you know, containing the chemicals, which obviously the chemicals are just causing harm to our scalp and the scalp environment. But when the products have silicone and waxes, what it does is it coats our hair strands. And so it leaves this like waxy type of feel on our hair strands where, yeah, that makes our hair glossy, shiny, feel soft and smooth. What it's doing is it's coating our hair strands with this wax. And what it does over time is it just builds up on the hair and it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And again, we don't realize it because we're just like, oh, our hair feels soft, you know, and over time it might just create dullness. And just because it's like a wax, you know, a waxy feel, you know, over time when you have wax on anything, it just like, it can, you know, all the fuzzies from just dust and dirt and pollutants can make it look dull. And so that's truly what happens when people come to me, they're like, oh, my hair just feels so dull. That happens because of the products that you're using. And with that building up on the hair, it starts to look dull over time. That's what tends to end up happening. But not only that, it's clogging our hair follicles. And what happens when our hair follicles are clogged, it'll start to cause issues at our scalp. It'll become dry. It'll become super oily. It'll become flaky. And when our hair follicles are not clogged and clear, what ends up happening is our hair is just not going to thrive over time because it doesn't have a healthy environment to grow. And not only grow, just thrive, like the hairs that are already there. And so it's obviously not going to allow any new growth to come through. And when it does come through, because it's just so much, hair follicles are super clogged that when a hair tries to get through all this coating and all this stuff that's clogged, it's not going to come through in a full, you know, hair strand, like a full thick hair strand. It's going to come out in a teeny, like really thin hair strand, when it should be coming in like a thick bulb, thick hair strand. So that's what ends up happening. We're going to actually start seeing thinner hair. And that's when a lot of times we're like, oh, we're thinning and my hair looks so thin in my parting or certain areas. And that's sometimes it's because of that. It could also cause hair shed. I don't want to say hair loss because hair loss is a different subject. Hair loss is actually caused by something. It cannot be caused by shampoo. It cannot be caused by anything else that most people think hair loss is caused by. It's not. Hair loss is caused by something specifically. Usually it's just trauma related to our body, and it actually takes a while. It doesn't happen right away. So anyways, that's a whole other subject that I will do in another video. But all that to say, this is what ends up happening from using those products. So with money, when money comes in, it's totally different. It has a molecular structure that's super teeny tiny enough to penetrate 3 layers deep, which is why other shampoos and products only coat the outer layer. And if you're using any other, this is why the Monning Rejuvenating Oil is like the crown jewel of the company and the product. Because what it does is it can actually go through all that coating and the waxes that's in the hair. It's going to bind it down and start to, over time, remove those waxes and coatings. It's going to remove buildup, but it's going to actually penetrate and go 3 layers deep instead of just sticking to the outer layer. And so now this is when it's going to be getting deep to nourish our hair strand, not only just our hair strands, slowly removing that coating and waxing over time. That's why consistent use of the products is super important, because you're going to notice the more that you're using it consistently and over time, the better your hair gets. But also, like, our hair follicles are going to start to open up and not remain clogged anymore, which is allowing the product, the nutrients, to really go deep into our scalp, our cuticles, our hair strands. So with this being infused in all the products that Monning has, this was like the first thing that the company came out with. It was the crown jewel. It was the reason why the products work the way that they do. And they're infused in the shampoos, the conditioners. They're infused in almost all of our skincare and makeup items as well. And it's just it's a blend of 13 essential oils, plant-based ingredients. And so this is why I exaggerate on using this alongside your hair regimen, on your skin as well, because I use it on my skin morning and night. But I exaggerate on it because of the fact that it's going to expedite, like, the more you put this on your scalp. Again, when you purchase your shampoos and conditioners, ideally, when you think about it, you're not washing your hair every day, or at least you shouldn't be. I don't recommend washing your hair every day. So when you think about it, this is not going to really sit on your scalp for a long extended amount of time. Your shampoo, yes, you're going to shampoo twice, but you're not going to leave this on more than a couple minutes, right? Same thing with your conditioner. Your conditioner actually shouldn't even touch your scalp. You only want to put it like earlobes down, so midway to the ends only for conditioner. So ideally, the oil, yes, it's great to have it on your hair and using it, but again, you're not using it every day. You're not applying it for an extended amount of time. This oil, the more that you leave it on, the more that you use it. Again, I typically do weekly scalp treatments, and you leave it on. You want to leave it on for a minimum of 30 minutes to get, like, at least a good use to it. And you could actually leave it on overnight or throughout the day. It is going to leave your scalp a little bit greasy, but it's a dry oil, so it'll dry up a little bit, but you obviously don't want to, like, go out with, like, freshen up your hair and style your hair with the oil in your hair. A good look with this is, doing a slick back ponytail, a bun, putting it up, or in a hat, wearing a hat over it throughout the day. And you can go out your day that way if you want to have it on throughout the day. If not, a good way is overnight, or again, 30 minutes before a hair wash. So this is a pre-wash treatment. So 30 minutes before you wash your hair, at least, minimum. If you can leave it on an hour or two before you wash your hair, that's even better. The longer, the better. So again, this is why the products work the way that they do, because truthfully, there's a lot of vegan, plant-based products that are out there, but they don't have, they're not backed by science, and they're not clinically tested and have clinically proven results and testimonials behind them to show proof of how they work and that they actually work the way that they do. So that's why I'm super passionate about it. So with that being said, with our sale that we have going on right now, the oil is not included in that, but I just had to share, like, this is why I recommend it. This is why I talk about the products, is because it all started off with this. But as far as this sale goes, what it is it's on our hair care right now currently. And again, if I didn't mention this before correctly, Monning carries not only just hair care, but they have skin care for all skin types. Like a whole regimen with different, like, supplements as well. We also offer wellness products. So we have collagen. We have a zero sugar energy stick drink, and it's like an energy powder in a stick. You can pour it into a water bottle or into a cup with water. We have a probiotic. We have sleep drops, which are like my absolute favorite item of the wellness products. We have, I'm trying to think of what else. A protein powder, a few other things that are in the wellness category. And then we just released makeup this last year. And so actually within the last 2 years. And so I'm in love with all of it. I have tried and tested pretty much, I believe everything. I have tried actually everything. We have a body care line, which is actually a part of the sale. So when you purchase the sale, it's buy 3 items, buy 3 hair care, get 3 hair care products for free. So it's technically 50% off plus, because we do have our, sorry, it got super dark in here quick. And I didn't know, I was talking way too long. I didn't want to talk this long, so I apologize for this lengthy video. But with their Purchase Plus program, you could actually, when the more items that you add to your cart, say you add, you have 2 items and you add a 3rd one in there, it's going to start deducting even more percentage off. You can get an additional 15, 20, 25, 30% off of your purchase by just the more items that you add to your cart. So with there being 6 items in your cart, that Purchase Plus program is going to start deducting more of a discount. So you actually might even get more than 50% off, but technically, over 50% off. So 3 hair care, and then you get 3 for free. And then if you spend over $120, you get a free full-size body care item that you can choose from. And it's a full-size product, and it's a body care. You could choose from a body care lotion, a body care serum, and a body care scrub, an exfoliating scrub, which is super delicious. I love it. Okay, so I want to wrap it up here because it's been so long. So again, 3 hair care products. So say for instance, you are going to grab a shampoo, your conditioner. I highly recommend our, I believe this is in the sale. I'll have to double check, but I just went through and I created a cart just to see how much it would be as a VIP customer with this sale. So I believe this is in there. The hair growth serum. So say for instance, I get the whole hair growth system. I actually don't have the shampoo on me on hand. So let's just pretend this is the shampoo. So shampoo, conditioner, and again, we could customize, or if I have already customized for you what your regimen is already, if you're a customer of mine, then we'll just do what your regimen is with the hair growth. Or if you don't use the hair growth serum, there's other items on there to choose from. But this is just my suggestion, recommendation. I would do a hair mask as another. And this is truly just my recommendations that I would recommend for someone that's like, give me everything that would reach me to my hair goals quicker, and that like I can be able to just fully immerse myself with everything to see the power of them and all that. So hair mask, the scalp purifying scrub, which is a scalp scrub for your scalp to exfoliate your scalp. This is 10/10 recommend. Then also a leave-in. So you're gonna need a leave-in cream. If I haven't shared with you about why you need a leave-in cream with these products, especially if you're gonna use a shampoo and conditioner, a leave-in cream is a must. We also have the air dried cream on this menu. So whether you use depending on which one I recommend to you, and if I haven't recommended anything yet, if you haven't tried hair care yet, there's a few different leave-in creams. So just depending on your hair type and how you style your hair. So if you use heat on your hair, you're gonna want to use this one. If you don't and you air dry your hair, this is why this one's called air dry cream, you're gonna use this. We have plenty of other ones on there as well, and a few other different hair care products. You could even do 2 different hair masks. We have our vinegar rinse, which is another one that I recommend that I don't actually have on hand right here with me, but that's another good one. And I wasn't actually going into detail on you know, what the scalp scrub does and what this does and that does. But I feel like I already made this video super long, so I'm sorry, but I hope this kind of gives you just some insight on why I'm so passionate about these products, and why I love educating on them, and why I've shared them with you truthfully. And whether I went to you about them or you came to me with interest, just seeing, you know, me posting about it and sharing about it, this is truly why I share about it. And even if I don't share as much as I would like to and sharing all this information, it's just, this is my heart. I like having heart-to-heart conversations with anyone that I come across, because I want you to know that I truly care about your well-being and about just using something that is going to actually give you results and give you what you're looking for, right? With whether that's with your hair, your skin, all things related to beauty. So always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want to be able to take advantage of this sale. This sale actually ends on Friday. So again, our deadline is always 8:59 p.m. Pacific time. And sometimes I extend it. Again, like that's what happened with this last sale. We just don't really know until the deadline on 8:59 that night at 9 o'clock, or like around 9:01, they'll send us an email letting us know they extended it. And if they didn't extend it, we won't get an email. We normally will just get some type of notification the next day saying there's a different sale, or whatever announcements they have going on letting us know. So I won't know anything, but for now, this sale is until Friday night, 8:59 p.m. Again, reach out to me. I'm sorry for bugging you again. If you feel like I'm reaching out again, letting you know this, I just wanted to be able to share this information. And again, I'm here if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon.